Same scene, totally different feeling. Why? Because it's all about focal lengths. So how do you pick the perfect focal length for your project? Hi, my name is Justin with Media Boat Productions, and today we're diving into focal lengths. What they are, how filmmakers use them to tell stories, and how you can use them to define your own visual style. Focal length is the distance between the lens and the sensor, and it's measured in millimeters, like 24 millimeters, 50 millimeters, 85 millimeters. That number affects two things: field of view and perspective. A wide angle is anything less than 35 millimeters, and this stretches perspective and shows a lot more of the background. This really brings you into the character, almost too much, where it's so up close and personal, it's a little uncomfortable. And that's the purpose of it, to make it feel gritty, like you're right in the action. So now we're on a 35 millimeter, and this is one of those focal lengths that start to feel like a normal, what your eye is gonna see. We like to call 35 to 70 millimeters the more standard focal lengths. So 35 to 70 is a good range when you want to just have a neutral feeling and make people focus on maybe the conversation, or really focus on what's being said and not draw any attention one way or the other. Shooting 50 millimeters is sometimes one of my favorite ways to kind of just get into the action and focus on the action. And as you can notice, the background's already changing. It's compressing a little bit. We're seeing a lot less of the background. Okay, telephoto is considered anything from 70 millimeters all the way up to 300 millimeters. So as you can see with telephoto, the background's way more compressed. 85 is one of my favorite focal lengths when it comes to this, especially for interviews and B-cam, when we really want to punch in and get something that's, a powerful statement. I love using the 85. I just feel like it feels very natural. You don't feel too far away. The further you go down that length, 200, 300, it starts to feel like you're spying on your person a little bit, which kind of gives you a different feel. So you got to decide on what you want to kind of go with. 85, I think, is a great spot to get a clean feel, but also, we're not quite in there. It's all experimentation. It's all trying things out and figuring out what works for you. And I think the big start is just understanding what these focal lengths look like. So how does focal length affect storytelling? Filmmakers choose focal lengths to elicit emotion, and here is how. Wide angles equal space and chaos, and it's a great way to show war, horror, and create tension. A telephoto lens is more intimate. Something like this, it really brings you in the world, and it really focuses you in on what's being said. Medium shots, 35 millimeters to 85, those give you the sense of being in the moment there with them and the conversation, but you're watching it from an outside perspective, versus like a 24 or a 14, what makes it feel like you're like right there and really personal with the person. Directors have formulated their own style using these different types of lenses. Wes Anderson, for instance, uses wide lenses, very symmetrical on everything that he does, whereas Spielberg likes medium type length to show the immersion and put you in the driver's seat with the characters. Another thing about focal lengths that I wanted to touch on is the compression in the background that you get. The type of bokeh you might get at 85 versus if you're shooting at a 24 millimeter. You've got to know your preference. What type of style do you like? Do you like emotional closeness or environmental context? You got to experiment. I'd say shoot 10-second clips, one at 24 millimeters, one at 35, one at 85, or maybe a telephoto, a really long zoom at 200. Just see what it looks like, see what it feels like to you, and start to figure out what might be the way that you like to go. It's important to know what these focal lengths are doing and how it's making the viewer feel and why you want to use them. And then start to build that in with your style. And what kind of style and what kind of feeling do you want your viewers to have based on what you create? Quentin Tarantino loves the 40 millimeter. Lebowski uses the wide lens for long takes to like really get you into the gritty feeling of a scene. These are all different ways that you can implement focal lengths. And it's really up to you. It's up to the story that you want to tell. So the biggest part of it is just figuring out what works for you. So to recap, focal lengths is not just a number, but it's an emotional tool. Wide equals space, tele equals emotion. Standard is a natural human feel. So in the comments, tell me what your favorite focal length is and why. I think that is a very interesting thing to see what people like. If this video was helpful for you, please hit that subscribe button, like this, help get this out and share this. I'm very thankful that you made it this far, and be on the lookout for more filmmaking tips like this to help aid you on your filmmaking journey. And we will see you on the next one. Peace.